Hey there, and welcome back to How'd You Get That? Today we are taking a look at this problem. Find the derivative at the point t is equal to 0 for this function. F of t is equal to 3 times x to the 3/2 power plus cosine of e to the t power. So let's just jump right into it. The first thing I want to do is use the summation property of derivatives to break these two functions into two separate derivatives. So I'll have one derivative for 3 times t to the 3/2 power and one derivative for the cosine of e to the t power. Let's start with 3 times t to the 3/2 power. Since this is a power function, I'm going to use the power rule. The power rule says I'm going to drop the exponent in front of the whole function and then subtract 1 from the exponent. This then becomes 9/2 times x to the 1/2 power. That is the derivative of that power function. Okay, so let's move on to the cosine of e to the t part of the function. This, we are going to need both the trigonometric property and the chain rule here. The derivative of cosine is equal to negative sine. So the derivative of this part of the function is negative sine of e to the t power times the derivative of the inner function, because again, we're going to use the chain rule here. The chain rule states that the derivative of the compound function must be the outer function derivative evaluated at the inner function, so that's how we get negative sine e to the t. Then we multiply that by the derivative of the inner function. Now the inner function is e to the t power, and the derivative of that inner function is simply itself, e to the t. So the derivative of this whole second part of the function here is negative e to the t times sine of e to the t. All right, so the derivative for the whole function now is this. F prime of t is equal to 9/2 e to the 1/2 power plus negative e to the t power times the sine of e to the t. But we want to find what is this derivative evaluated at the point t is equal to 0. So all we do is we plug in 0 wherever we see t into the derivative function. So f prime of 0 is equal to 9/2 times 0 to the 1/2 power minus e to the 0th power times sine of e to the 0th power. The first term just becomes 0, the square root of 0 is 0, and then in the second term we get negative e to the 0th power is just 1 times the sine of e to the 0th power, which again is just 1, so we have the sine of 1. So the exact value for this answer is f prime of 0 is equal to negative sine of 1. If we want to find an approximate decimal answer for this, all we need to do is evaluate the negative sine of 1. And remember that 1 must be in radians, not degrees here. So the approximate answer here is negative sine of 1 radian is equal to about negative 0.841. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. And what would you like to learn on the next episode of How'd You Get That? Leave those in the comments as well. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss another math, physics, or problem-solving tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see ya in the next problem.